Hi everybody, it's Dara, and I am nearing the end of this particular juncture in Rome. This part of my Astro Geo travels where I was intuitively guided to go to Rome, even though it was on my Neptune line, and even though I had lived on a Neptune line for years and had so many spiritual lessons and had so many, I would say, hard times, but most of all on the Neptune line of years ago, I just couldn't seem to get anything done. It was literally as if life was passing me by. And that is part of the mojo of Neptune, is that you don't feel like you're being seen. Why? Because you are underwater. It's ruled by the god of the sea, Neptune, and it's like you're underwater and it can be murky. And sometimes you just can't see clearly. You can't maybe do technical things or get typical daily things accomplished. It's not the place where you are super accomplished or balance checkbooks easily, or like the other day, I thought I booked my ticket out to Lisbon and I went to go find it so that I could know when I was leaving and give my information to the Airbnb host who's gonna get me a driver. Couldn't find it. Couldn't find anything from Ryanair. Then I went to my credit card statement. It had never gone through, and I put in my credit card and I was certain that I had purchased my ticket. So that's a very Neptunian experience. I've had many. It was not easy. And I want to discuss the things that happened and also how I handled it, because I think that I handled it in a way of making myself still be me while on a Neptune line. And I think as long as we know what energies we're swimming in, then we can adjust ourselves accordingly, which is what I found myself doing without academic. It wasn't academic. I just found myself doing certain things and then realizing other things. So some of the things that went wrong in the beginning were the jet lag. Obviously, you know, that's just dark because you're up at like weird dark hours and you sleep late, or you get up early and you can't sleep, and it's just like turbulent. So it felt like there were turbulent waters when I got here. Plus, in the middle of May, when it should have been warm in Rome, rain, cold, gray. More rain, getting drenched at times. Even when I had my umbrella, walking in the rain, water, gray. And Neptune can be gray. It's gray until you see, like, picture you're underwater and it's kind of like you can't really see that clearly, but once in a while you come face to face with a treasure and then it sparkles. And so there's a sparkly thing and something illuminated at that moment, and then it gets dark again and you don't really see the treasures coming. And that's really what happened to me. So the things that went weird, obviously, were the jet lag and all the rain and the cold. And the Airbnb that I chose was a little off the beaten path. It wasn't as bright as I thought. I really learned a lot about myself and my needs on this trip. So that's a win-win. Sometimes successes don't come, and my friend business advisor reminded me that it is a successful trip, and we talked about why. So there's a lot of beauty and treasures that maybe don't look like what you thought they were going to look like. So here they go. The things that went wrong at that Airbnb were the hot water. Like, I got the apartment because of the tub and there wasn't hot water. And then he came and fixed it and there still wasn't hot water. Then he came back again and he showed me that it was hot water, what he thought was hot. But before I realized that the tub spout was working, I figured I would fill the tub with the shower head, one of those windy, cordy things. And that was getting hot water more than the tub faucet. So I turned it on, left the room, came back, and there was water everywhere. So it was like my own little mini internal Neptune in the home as within, so without. Our homes, what happens in our homes, are a direct reflection of what's going on in us. And I was like underwater, and I had never felt so lonely. Like, I've gone on trips before, and loneliness is not like, is not the experience. Maybe it's excitement, maybe it's like difficulty navigating, but never loneliness and like depression. So that happened. And 5 days in, I was like, I got to get out of here. Like, I started looking at going to Lisbon, but something was like, no. Like, I felt like a no. And I couldn't tell if it was Neptune pulling me down further into the sea, or that there was something that needed to be resolved. I personally felt like I love Rome, and I didn't want to leave before my time was up. I didn't want to leave not loving Rome, because I had been here before. It had felt like home, which is happening because of my moon's node descending line. So I have Neptune rising here. I am Neptunian, and the moon's node descending basically is karmic and fated. You feel like you've lived here in past lifetimes, which I do. What I didn't realize that the past lifetime I had here was a very dark, tricky one that perhaps was affecting me in this lifetime today. So I was like feeling the heaviness. I spoke with Heath, my business advisor. He's a spiritual business advisor, and he had told me in the first meeting of our guidance that I had had a lifetime where I was an oracle, but I stopped speaking because my words were not being used for the good as I had wished. And it was a lifetime where I was almost like I was used, like physically, my vision, and it was just dark. And so I was like, all right, there's something here for me. Obviously, just being here could heal it. Maybe I'll get to know more about that past lifetime. I was walking in the streets in the area of Monte. It's a Rione, and it's a hip area where it's very old Rome, and it's I was walking down the street, and it's not the area I was staying in, and I just got this like vision of like an ex-boyfriend who was from the past lifetime where I was used, and I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. And then the man I had a relationship with in my 20s, he flashed before my eyes, so I knew that they were in that past lifetime, and I was like, wow, I don't like this area. I'm gonna go back to Trastevere where it feels safe and cute. It's separate, it's across the river, and it's like a little playground. It wasn't really affected by the bombing by the Germans, so it's like intact, and there's laundry hanging and jasmine growing and birds everywhere, and people come here to have fun. It's like a little village. So I just kept thinking, and then usually when I land in a place, I've had, global family all over the world, and when I land somewhere, people are like, can I see you? I want to meet you. And there were 3 women, 2 of which were out of town. One woman is not from here. She came into town, and we messaged, and I was like, maybe we ought to meet at the Barnum Cafe. So right before she came to meet me, her name is Sophie. I looked at her Instagram again. I had only glanced at it and got a hit that she was wonderful. And then I looked at it again, and I saw that title said past life regressionist, hypnotherapist. And I was like, whoa. I mean, literally 2 minutes before she showed up at the cafe, and I thought, oh my goodness, like what? So of course I loved her, and of course we did a reading. Like I just knew she was great. We just really connected, and she helped me to clear out of my body that past lifetime. So then that happened. That's amazing. That's successful enough. But then I was like, I want to love Rome. I love Rome. So I found myself, I kept visiting this organic cosmetic store where this woman, Margarita, and her brother, they were so nice to me. And I just walked in one day and bought another lipstick, and I said, I need my hair done. And she speaks a little English, and she took me by the hand around the corner. And before I knew it, I was getting my hair made way lighter and brighter by a woman who didn't speak English. And I just said, Bionde, like more blonde. She was like, she did it. And I realized after I was done that I was like, almost like trying to make myself brighter so that I could be seen under the sea. Kind of like a fishing lure, how they like flash and you can see them, or a fish or a mermaid scale. And then I was like, that's funny. And then I decided to just surrender into Neptune, because I had come here with all this Jupiter energy. I have Jupiter rising at home, and I was like, I'm gonna film, I'm gonna share, I'm gonna finish my course, I'm going to do all of these things and do my sessions. And Neptune was like, you're not really going to do that. You can't get all that done. You can't even look at your emails. I literally was like, I couldn't even like process. And it didn't help that that first Airbnb had really slow Wi-Fi. So he came and he fixed it. 2 men, a router, new wires, and guess what? Then the Wi-Fi was out. And I was like, he's gonna think I'm crazy. He just had it fixed. He said it's super fast, and I got nothing. So I was using my personal hotspot, and it feels like I was being drained. And then I could have left, but I couldn't. I feel like it was a little swampy, like I couldn't get myself out. So I made another Airbnb appointment for a week. When I got here to this Airbnb, I was like, oh, I gotta stay 8 nights because I have sessions booked Tuesday, Wednesday. I want to finish everybody before I head to a new line. So I'm staying until the 6th. And what I learned very quickly is that this apartment has a terrace. It has so much light and air. It has a view. It has a gas stove, not an electric stove. It has a bathtub with plenty of hot water. And I learned the things that I need to have. Yes, if I need to compromise on the gas stove, obviously I will. If I'm choosing a ground floor apartment with a terrace or a place with a view without a terrace, I'm probably gonna pick the place with a view so I could be lifted. I need to see. So it's learning what I need, it's learning who I am, it's letting go of past things that don't serve in this lifetime. In that past lifetime, I was an oracle, right, who had insight, and because my words were used for the bad, I started to not speak and to try and not see. So in any time in this lifetime that I'm not allowing myself to see, it would have been remnants. Like, almost like, why bother? It's not gonna make a difference. But now I know it does make a difference. So also what I did was I decided to stop trying to push and edit videos. It was funny, I tried to get Emily, my editor, the videos, and I thought she had all the footage. And when she edited and posted a video on YouTube, I was like, where's the Rome footage? She only got like the pre-trip footage. So then that night I was up till 2 or 3 in the morning trying to edit on my iPhone, and I posted one of the worst, most scattered videos I've ever posted. And then I said, okay, well, I'm just gonna go the path of least resistance. I'm gonna post on Instagram stories, see if people are interested, and they were interested, they wanna see. So now my intention is to get very clear on which content goes where, what I'm posting, get myself some direction, and I think it will be a lot easier when I am not here. But you know, at that time, I really felt lost. I just, I even took, instead of taking 5 or 4 of my multivitamin, I took 5 of the things. When I travel, I take this thing, OxyClean. It's like a pill that helps things move, because sometimes things don't move when you're traveling, and I took 4 of those by mistake in the morning. I was like, that's so Neptunian. It's just, you're not clear. And I left a sweater behind at a shop, and I was doing these little things that were cute. Nothing, this energy isn't malefic. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels like I am not as clear as I like to be, and it's triggering something in my natal chart, which is why I love when I do sessions with people. I help guide them to places based on what they're feeling, what they need, what nutrients, and also what's going on in their natal chart. Where, like, if they want love, I look at their Venus. If I want to look at, there's a lot of things I look at. And in any case, I am able to see while I'm here. I am able to do amazing sessions, but that's about it. So Sophie was magic, and then some more magic happened. I'm like wandering around after I went to go get back to the hair salon to get my bangs trimmed, and it was about a week later, and all of a sudden I hear Dara, and this cute face pops out of this wine bar, and I'm like, Jenna. She and I had communicated on Instagram. She was making her way to Rome, and we thought we'd get together, but we kept missing each other's messages. And so, of course, we ran into each other. She was with her boyfriend, Kevin, and the two of them are dolls and a half, and we had the loveliest time. Over a period of 3 days, we communicated on Instagram, but we never made a plan, and we ran into each other 3 or 4 times. And that's magic. And he had actually had a dream. He didn't know of me, but he had a dream where he saw my name, Dara, big storefront letters, and then he told her about it. It was just kind of extraordinary. Anyway, that video is up on YouTube, so I got to be with them. Then I got to meet Giovina, who was loving me, sending me, go here, go to this place. She was out of town, but she landed in town, and we got together and had a love fest, and her video is up. And then today, I decided a couple days ago that I wanted to capture the experience of Rome through a professional photographer. Airbnb offers experiences. I've never done any of them, like pasta making, bike tours, but I was like, you know, let's just for an hour have a photographer take full body so I'm not always like neck and up. And that might be nice because one or two people had taken photographs. A couple of photographs had been taken of me, but I thought that would be nice to capture the energy and to have the Neptune Rome episode professionally photographed. So the man who books, he's the photographer, Sal, said, is it okay if I send an associate? And I said, of course. So we met, Nico and I, and it was like instant fun. I just said, I have no agenda, I just want to have fun. Let's just have fun. And we did, and he got some great captures, and he loves to do videos, and he loves to film, and he loves to edit, and he has such a great eye. So we're going to talk about him filming maybe in Lisbon for a couple days, or me coming back this way. So that was really the latest treasure that I found. And the biggest thing that I want everyone to know is that if you are visiting, traveling to, or living on a Neptune line, there's certain things to not do and there's certain things to do. So what did I write? I think I put notes. It's not funny. I'm like, where did my notes go? They're right in front of me. That's really funny. Well, don't expect to accomplish. If you want some recognition for what you're doing, let's say you have this body. Neptune is wonderful for artistry, for spirituality, for tapping into divine love. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, so it's divine love and compassion, thus all these beauties. My treasures were found in people. And don't expect to accomplish. So if you need accomplishment, you might want to get help from somebody who's not living on a Neptune line. I always suggest that before you make any decisions or contracts or get married, have counsel. Like have somebody who's on your sun line, or have somebody who has some sense about them who's in reality, because Neptune's like not reality, is to have them counsel you. Float and surrender, prepare and allow to be moved by things, by music, by beauty, by foods. You might feel scrambled at times, but the biggest thing is not to swim against the current. Because if I had tried to film my course and be so regimented and be so very popping in Jupiter like I normally am, firing on all cylinders, then I would have been swimming against the stream. And I don't think I would have been so busy breaststroking that I wouldn't have floated and seen and met the treasures that I have. I'd say put yourself in it, float with it, be willing to go in different directions and be moved by beauty. That's my biggest thing. So hopefully what's going to happen is the footage that I've taken will just be a montage, and then there will be a plan for next time. So thanks for being with me on these Astro Geo travels. My intention is to go to the different lines, not just only go to the really easy ones, but strengthen myself, learn how to be me anywhere. So the beauty of it is that it doesn't mean it shouldn't deter you from anything. I want us to know how to work with these lines for our greatest good, because they all have nutrients for us. So if you're interested, take the course. We're going to be delving more, farther, deeper, farther and wider to different locations, and I'll see you guys soon. Happy Astro Geo traveling. And you get to do it even if you're not moving off of your sofa. You get to connect in with the different places and the energy by looking at movies and landscapes and music and food from the area.